Alright, Schlockmeister fans, an 80s sex comedy brought to you by the Playboy channel. This one's called Preppies. Chuck Vincent directed. Let's check it out. A dean of students yelling at a couple of kids.
Has this university witnessed such absolute neglect, degradation, and sheer idiocy perpetrated by any of its students?
He could lose his trust fund.
What cringe to see you here today. Unless you graduate, you will never be able to control the Thurston Trust Fund. All three of you young fellas.
Cousin Blackwell, he inherits everything if Chip fails.
234 out of 235, but I graduated.
So Blackwell hires somebody to hire women to distract the boys so they fail.
Three guys you gotta keep busy. Like, party, you know, keep them happy all weekend.
Oh, you mean we can lay them?
You got it.
Right. What's the catch?
They're preppies. Let's split up.
She hates preppies.
So guys, try to study.
Maybe Mark's right. It is good to take a break from time to time.
Are you nuts? We just started.
I'm feeling faint. I need food, drink, air, and sex.
Bayard, I'm sure you'll meet.
Two of the three actually have girlfriends.
What about me?
You go over chapter 3 and make notes, all right?
Are you boys going to talk academics all evening? I mean, let's get with it. Right. Yeah.
Anyway, the flirting begins when the hired hands
How about a drink?
start to make the moves on the guys.
I swear to God, I don't know her.
It's a work in progress. Now, the two girlfriends never put out, though, but here's one of them teasing by putting her boobs up against the mirror, not that you can see anything because it's way too dark. The three girls track down the three guys in a club or a bar somewhere, and they end up smoking pot in the bathroom.
What are those white things out there?
The things?
No, those spots.
Those are urinals.
You might recognize that middle chick from the Toxic Avenger.
Yes.
The girls come up with a plan.
I've got it. I've got a way to get into the Thurston dump. Came to me like a hot flash. We're all ears. Susie's the key. We dress her up, pass her off as a preppy, then move right in.
Susie's not gonna go for it. She's pretty pissed.
So she walked home last night. Chip,
The plan goes into action.
I have a paper due Monday, and what I really need is some peace and quiet. Archie said you could help me out.
Would you like to come over here?
Sure, I'll be there in 10 minutes.
So their friend comes over, pretending to be a preppy like them. She also brings a porn movie and shows it to the boys to distract them. And now she's going to let her friends in. Or I guess they let themselves in.
It's all set. What happened?
Let the distraction begin.
Catch me. It is real.
Who's Jeff?
My dad's gonna kill me, but it'll be worth it.
We were just in the neighborhood, and we thought we could try it.
We've been trying to find you, girl.
You found us.
But they get busted.
Margot!
I can't look. It's an outrage. Mark, you should be ashamed of yourself. Poetry.
Time for a new plan.
Well. Back so soon.
What went wrong? Preppy twat. That's what went wrong. I really like that guy, too.
Be cool. Those girls won't be there long. We'll wait it out and call the guys up.
The girls decide there's only one way to keep their men.
The fact is, turning our men are wandering. There's only one way to keep them. We, Margot, we've got to put out. You mean all the way?
So if they're going to put out, they have to learn how to do it.
Whoa, Margaret. Skipper sensitive.
Oh, Vicky, multiple orgasms, please.
Don't worry, Corgi. Skipper's a trooper.
Skipper? Great ball. Just
So they decide to
rotate
practice.
It's a lot like hula dancing. When it's really good, you see stars.
Really? Stars? Like this?
Really, you're doing wonderfully. Now let's compliment the lower
Margot. Follow me, Mark. Ready.
And while the two are with the other chicks,
And Mark. Margot and her parasite.
I know them.
Bayard.
It's you and me.
before anything is consummated, the girls crash their van into the cottage or whatever the hell it is, and have a coitus interruptus.
Roxanne! Shit.
Little doom and gloom now.
Come Monday, no more school. We'll be tossed. Flunked out.
Just because you had a few drinks?
More than that, this weekend was the last straw. We should have studied every minute.
Things get weird now when Blackwell shows up with a gun, and I don't know why.
Try. Come on, let's put some soul into it.
Blackwell, not the boys.
And then 80s porn star Jerry Butler shows up for some reason.
Susie Evans.
Show him in. Gay bar?
No.
Congratulations.
But guess what?
94%. Mark, 92%. And Chip, 96%. The highest grade in your class. Now, let this be a lesson to you.
The movie ends with the boys and girls getting laid.
Oh, Tap.
Oh, Chip.
Was I good?
You're okay.
No. Really?
Well, Mark, I would have scored you a 10 except for the drooling. Well, what's the garden hose for?
For the lawn.
And all that toothpaste.
For brushing your teeth.
And the vacuum cleaner. What's this for?
Alright, let's talk about Preppies. What we have here is a 1980s teen sex comedy, like many, many others that I have in my collection. This one I didn't actually watch a ton when I was a kid. In fact, I didn't see this till the late 80s. It came out in 1984, but it just didn't show up, I don't know, on video store shelves or cable. I don't even know if it actually showed up on cable. I think I rented this and copied it, to be honest with you. It's made for Playboy, the Playboy channel, so maybe it was just shown on Playboy for a while before it actually got to other places. Who knows? But anyway, it's a kind of a typical teen sex comedy, although it's not as good as a lot of them, but it's okay. It's about these three preppies. One of them is like mega rich. I think they're all rich, actually, but one of them is supposed to inherit his parents' or family trust fund of like worth like $50 million or something like that. But the key is he has to graduate college. Now, it says they're freshmen here, so I don't know what the deal is because they still would have 3 years to go, right? But anyway, if he doesn't graduate, his cousin Blackwell inherits everything. Or maybe if they don't or maybe if they fail this test or whatever, they fail the semester, he'll get kicked out of school and then thus can't finish college. Maybe that's the deal. I don't know. It wasn't quite explained, but anyway. So anyway, they're failing, and they have basically a weekend to study hard and pass this test that they're going to take the next week. Their cousin Blackwell, or the guy's cousin Blackwell, finds out about this, and he decides he's going to distract them. He's going to have one of his guys hire 3 ladies to try to be more or less prostitutes, I guess you could say. Distract them, have sex with them, party with them, just keep their minds occupied on anything else but the books. So they hire 3 ladies, and they go in, and it turns out they start flirting with them and everything, and the guys like them a lot, actually, even though 2 of them have girlfriends, but the girlfriends don't put out. They're preppies, too, and they're just kind of stuck up and prudish. But the girls make their moves on them, and pretty soon a relationship develops between the guys and the girls, because they all like each other. Ultimately, a weird scene near the end there. After like a weekend of partying, at one point the 2 girlfriends find out that their guys are being wooed by these other ladies. They decide we're going to have to put out for them all the way, otherwise we're going to lose our men. So they lay in a bed, 2 beds, and they start practicing and gyrating and stuff. That was kind of strange, but it's kind of funny. Ultimately, they're going to give in to them at the end, but then the girls crash the party, literally crashing their van into this cottage or beach house or whatever the hell it was, preventing the actual consummation. And then the next day, or that night, cousin Blackwell shows up with a gun, and I don't know what the hell that was all about, to be honest with you. Then porn star Jerry Butler showed up for no reason whatsoever. Then all of a sudden the next day, it's post-test, and they've passed. The dean of the students there is telling them, you got a 94, you got a 96, highest in the class. So everything's going to be fine, and the last scene of the movie is the guys and the girls in a hotel together. Now, it was strange, though. In that hotel room, we're hearing a lot of the people talk. It seemed like the two stuck-up prudish girls were in there, too. So maybe, I don't know what they were trying to say. Maybe I had that wrong, and it was the fun girls. I don't know. But anyway, that's Preppies. There is nudity in this movie, not a ton. Kat Shea and Linda Wiesmeyer, who did some exploitation films in the 80s, they play the two prudish girls. Out of the three fun girls, or actually there was a fourth, I guess, the only one I recognized was Cindy Mannion, and she was this blonde, bubbly girl from the beginning of the movie, The Toxic Avenger. She was with the guy in like the locker room or something like that, but that's all I remember from this one. But anyway, this movie came out on DVD. It's put up by Wham USA, and I have several Wham USA discs. They're usually pretty low quality. They seem to be like VHS rips, and I think that's what this is. The sound actually is not very good on this. I had to turn the TV volume all the way up to get some decent audio. It was the weird thing though, it wasn't like a big hiss or anything, even when it was turned all the way up to 100. But you had to have it up to 100 to hear it well. So again, a few nude scenes scattered throughout. It's okay. It's okay for a teen sex comedy. We'll just leave it at that. I don't really have a desire to see it again, but who knows, right? So anyway, that's it. It's Preppies. I'm curious if anybody else has seen this thing. 1984. Check it out. Let me know what you think about it. If you want the DVD, it's pretty cheap. You can get this for about maybe $12 or so. I'll leave a link down below to Amazon. Buy it. Say hi. Watch it. Leave some comments.